Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Today we're going to present our defense's theory, I guess, of the body being dragged underneath the bridge because that sketch is upside down. What exactly is the sketch trying to show? Yeah, I don't think the old whisker face is going to forgive him any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Laurice Donham is... It's not exact. It can't be exactly what happens. So, evidence of nothing is probably not going to be helpful to us, so a complete contradiction? Something is obviously funny about the sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Laurice Dunham stated it over and over that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if you were to believe his testimony, that his sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality? Huh. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to the finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trat, so what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? Like the suspension bridge stuff?
Take that!
It's this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? Huh. Is that thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us what the reality is supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. You just gave me like one of these, right? Yeah.
Take that!
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. Yes, that's what those are called. Yes, but on the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping Jehoshaphat's, the wires are below the guardrails. What? Godot sounds like this now. All right. Order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in this photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong? Or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility, but then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Yeah, he was laying down. Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Halls waiting for a lover that was never going to come, because they were not lovers, and he waited, and finally he laid down. And then someone cast Lightning 3, and it shot from the sky and set the bridge aflames. Now ponder what sort of position Laurice must have been at that time. Can we just call him Larry, because I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing that name right. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates, but it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in this sketch go up instead of down. No way. Laurice Dunham witnessed the events while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Oh, maybe I should name this episode Upside Down, not the last episode. 1 second, Judge, I gotta change the name. It's not live yet, but I name my files after I record them so I have like a title to go by. Oh, fuck, what am I gonna name the last episode? TBD. There we go. Oh, wait, no, 1 second. That was probably loud. I deleted the extension. TBD. Just cut this out, Chronos. Maybe, if I remember. You can just mark it down with the timestamp. No, I can't. So, yes, I could, actually, but I'm not. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurice Dunham's sketch is like this. She must have cooked a little bit on the way. Did anyone see the front of her body? This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right. Just like a pendulum. Order! Order! Of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get to the body across the other side, and the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? This bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. I can speak. Yeah, that sounds right. In other words, to cover the distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you need to have a plan ahead. Yeah, the lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. I don't know, unless God really wanted Misty to be dead, and they planned it out with, like, frickin' Iris and, I guess Dahlia and Morgan. So it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope anyway. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that was because of the matter of using what was... I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mrs. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope had the rope on hand to create the pendulum? It's gotta be that. It's gotta be the support wire, right? It's gotta be the support wire. The music didn't stop in the meaning of this. If you want to know where the rope came from... Oh, it was right! Okay, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah, it is a glorious beard, isn't it? This is one of the wires from the bridge. When lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Donham's body. So it was kind of like a catapult, because there was simply no other way to move the body. Dots, aha. Mr. Godot, stop it! Are you trying to drown yourself? It seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of the rope being readily available are very high, so I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. I have finished my coffee! Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Oh, now you want the truth, huh? I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence the body was swinging on the pendulum? Fell 10 feet. Was found near the Dusky Bridge. This name's Dusky Bridge, so I think it's probably more likely that it's that. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. I hope this is the right answer then, because if we're going to review it for every evidence I get wrong, I'm going to be kind of mad. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see that it's one of the ones that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now let's consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. The body was pushed from this point here. It would have dropped on the opposite bank approximately at this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What? I never fail to catch bodies! Because I have evidence that the Cheshire body dropped some distance. What kind of evidence? The autopsy report. Take a look at this. The autopsy report. Yeah, I thought your sentence stopped there. It says that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to the forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. That's... Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal is the one that came off of Miss Elise Dunham's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. Crystal was found, precisely, Your Honor, in the very spot where the pendulum would have arrived if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way the body could have moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright, most impressive. I thought I heard something. Mr. Wright! I thought this cold coffee might help you cool down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? We only allow people to whip each other in this court. That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Triton. No, that was all evidence, baby. But you forgot about one thing. Oh, and what would that be? The aroma. Huh? The coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. Okay. The rest of the court doesn't speak coffee-nese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like that, then naturally, there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. Accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge, so then who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trat? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. It was Iris. Iris, you are actually an accomplice to this? Well, Mr. Wright, do you know what you must do? Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple with an accomplice. Well, very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body at Hazakura Temple? Like, it's gotta be. It's... I'm disappointed that she's actually working with them. But here's the thing, though. So if Maya has been trapped in the Sacred Cavern, was it Pearl? No, Pearl says she couldn't channel it, so someone else had to channel it. And the only people there that could do that were Maya and Misty, right? We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. Here you go, dog. It can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? But I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusty Bridge is by snowmobile. Well, with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Objection!
Tried. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, the little cutie pie was on the cleanup duty in the temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? That this witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by the eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. Oh my god, is it actually Dahlia with like her wig on or her hair dyed?
What? How could you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazaka's temple?
Are you serious, Triad? You mean this woman is?
Oh, you had no idea, Godot? There's no one besides Iris that could have received that corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is... I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. And it's been a long time. Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Since her eyes had a twin sister. And you're looking at her. Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings a bell. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
It's just your imagination, Gramps. The file contains all the relative data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence, Mr. Judge.
The honor's all mine. No, the honor's all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Death has no meaning in this court.
This is true! That's like the first true thing you fucking said this entire game, Godot. What? Order!
Wait a moment. How can you? My sister, she's already dead. What kind of...
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of Crane channeling technique flows within that body. The Crane channeling technique? Now, where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium.
What an exciting story. Exciting, but it wasn't possible. You're asking us about that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to the temple where her twin sister Iris was?
Well, if you're gonna put things that way, then yes.
Objection! It's like, I was kidding. We're supposed to believe a coincidence just like that?
Nah, I got proof. Naturally, it was no coincidence. This whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It was all I didn't even present it. It was all written here, in these instructions.
What was that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. The part of the plan called for Dahlia to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple.
2 of them?
Even at the time of the channel, even in the time of the channel was planned out, as soon as you hear the lights out bell. In other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me the hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne.
So do you even know what you're saying, Trad? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans to talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing on the witness stand is the real Iris.
What?
Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. Whee!
Clunk.
It was later that the body was moved by pendulum.
That's right.
Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There they found Iris in a room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit! I can't deny. Yes, you can, you dumbass.
Bullshit! Objection!
Oh, thank goodness. Looks like she's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one of the other night.
Huh. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switch places?
Switch places? I mean, I hope not. I mean, kind of do. If she helped your baby, but to be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand. But I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we cannot continue this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual powers needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, has there been any chance that Iris switched places with Dahlia Hawthorne? There was one! Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown.
Unknown? What do you mean?
What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was unable to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect this time to move freely? Sorry, Edgeworth. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. Oh, Edgy, I'm sorry. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? Ah, an earthquake.
Earthquake! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! It's kind of tremor my...
How could I have? She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here! No judge in his right mind could consider the idea of spirit channeling and... Be quiet.
It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask then. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne, and my current profession, permanently retired. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. He just jumps over the desk and strangles her dead body. Or her dead spirit. For her and myself. Well, not myself. To be continued. Okay, there's a lot to think about, like, who's channeling Dahlia? Maya's still missing. But yeah, that's the thing though. It's like, okay, Pearl couldn't channel her on that night. So there were only two other people that we know of that could have channeled her. Maya or Misty, right? Unless Iris is lying about not being able to channel, but then again, that would ruin the whole plan, yeah? Unless Morgan got out of the jail. Even then, I don't know if she actually had that sort of power to do that. She was a medium. Her powers weren't as good as Misty's, that's why she wasn't picked, but she still had them. So it has to be, right now, the only two people that we know that can channel, right, are Pearl and Maya. Pearl thinks she lost her powers, and Maya's whereabouts have been the sacred cavern that's been locked up. But, maybe that's not true. But if that's the case, did she actually kill her own mother? And if that was the case, is she going to get blamed for it? I mean, probably not, right? But Dahlia didn't seem to know that she could have been acting that was actually her mother, so who knows? Maybe she did know. I don't know. But no, she wouldn't have known, right? Because her being there was a quote-unquote coincidence, right? That wasn't in the letter? Yeah? And I'm assuming Misty somehow knew about the plan, right? And probably went there to maybe stop it? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I do not know. That is going to be it for today. And yeah. Yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.